Good morning, everybody. This is so cool. You have no idea how much I want to sit down on the floor because that's what I do. Is that okay, Bonnie? Do you mind? Because that's just me. That's what I do. And okay, then I will. Okay, so I want to make sure Lisa and I and Bill, we had just an amazing evening. This is my second time staying overnight at their house. And I feel like both of my parents have passed on, but I kind of feel like I get to go to my parents' house and everything's nice there. You know, like everything's clean and they have really good food and they're happy that I showed up. And I mean, it's like I'm driving like there's a fire. I mean, everything about it. I don't have to cook, it's just like I'm driving there like, ooh, I'm going to Lisa and Bill's. I got this thing made. Like I just love that feeling, and I just thank you so much. I'm so happy that we're friends. Like we're friends in the best sense of friendship, the real friendship that is like a beautiful safety umbrella that protects us and keeps us all kind of taking care of each other and healing, right? Real friendship is a form of healing because it evokes out of me the best of me, and from that comes the best of you, even when things don't look so good, right? Even if I've said something wrong, it's still under friendship. I get to be vulnerable and I get to have an ugly cry if that's what I need to do. I get to make a mistake. And then because I'm in this umbrella of friendship, I let those things get healed. So it's just, okay, that might be better. So I love the umbrella of friendship that I've created with Bill, Lisa, and you all. I am on the other side of that camera every week. I'm not the other side of the camera, but I'm watching everybody through the live stream, and I feel so connected with all of us. I feel like this is my Course in Miracles group. I do lead a Course in Miracles group where I live on Martha's Vineyard. We meet on Monday nights. If you're on Martha's Vineyard, get in touch with me. That group is kind of a closed group, but I'm starting a whole bunch of other groups that anyone can come to. So if you're on Martha's Vineyard, let me know, because it's really fun to have miraculous friends. I want to just mention something that Lisa and I had talked about yesterday in regard to this amazing...
Can we stop?
Yeah? What would you like to do?
We've got the live streaming fixed, but all you guys that are watching on live stream, we're just going to kind of switch. So we're going to go offline for about less than a minute, and then we're going to start back again so that you guys, because there's a lot of people that only are picking up this broadcast from the Teachers of God website. I just switched it over there, and I'm sorry to interrupt your flow here, but
Okay.
we'll be right back.
So
and
Bill,
live streamers, we're gonna turn you off, and then you'll need to come back on. Okay?
do you want me to talk? Yeah. Okay. So what I wanted to bring up next is I want to talk about this book. Tell you what I have had, the experience I've had with this book. So I think, Lisa, you were the first place I heard about it because I listened to your radio show where you interviewed Robert Perry. Robert Perry is a scholar. God bless that individual. I looked at one page of Helen's shorthand notebook scribe, and I was like, I am not cut out for that work. It's extraordinary what this is. This is all of the stuff that was left out of other books. He went directly to the original writings, and he decoded a lot of it. A lot of it had been like scratched out, and he went through line by line by line, and he added all of the information back in. And what happens as I read that book, I don't even know if the word read is appropriate, but that book assumes that we are mature. It assumes that we are lifers, that we are not dabblers, that we want the whole story. It gives us the context. It lets us into the relationship between Helen, Bill, and Jesus in a way that we enter into the relationship between Helen, Bill, and Jesus. And from that place, the same words take on a completely different vibration. Now, my way of explaining it in my universe, my lexicon, is that the blue book that most of us were using has been upgraded as much as it possibly could have been in terms of, like, I swear, I read that blue book, then I would put it down, I'd have life experiences, I'd pick it up again, and I'd swear that blue book was different. I'd be like, that was not in that line was not in that book. I'd run around and be like, that line was not in that book. It was not. And what was happening was my experience was shifting, therefore my perceptions, what's a miracle? A shift in perception. My perceptions were shifting and my book was changing along with me. And I think we've all been having that experience. And what Jesus said was, you have ridden the horse of that blue book as far as I can take it. I can't shift that book anymore. It's time to bring a new book into your time-space continuum. And that, to me, is that purple book. Because that purple book is like Jesus saying, you know what? You all have demonstrated that you're ready for the whole relationship. Let's talk about sex. Let's talk about Helen's real issues. Helen had a lot of issues. I mean, everybody does. But we never really got to know what was Jesus talking about. And there were so many things as I would read the blue book that felt like you're walking down the street and suddenly you're like, I'd be like, well, what happened? Isn't there something missing there? Like there was like I kept thinking, what's up with that? And now that I'm reading this one, but it's like, I fell into a pothole up till my hip. I was reading that, and I'm like, what? It's because there was so much editing going on. And God bless everyone who has ever contributed to our ability to have access to A Course in Miracles. I am not, and I hope it doesn't come across in any way like I'm criticizing. I am so grateful and thankful. We are in a process. This book is evidence. We're in a process. We're on the bus, y'all. You know what I'm saying? We're on the bus. So we're in a process. It's done. But I just really am digging that purple book. And one of the really cool manifestations that's come out of that book, like I said, it represents a shift in our reality. I think Gary Renard talked about it in one of his books, but there's a sense of actually jumping from one trajectory, right? And suddenly, because of all of the miracles, because of the shift in mind, we are now in a different time-space truth. That purple book, to me, it's like that's evidence. Y'all, we did some stuff, all right? I'm just saying, y'all, we weren't playing. Because if we had been playing, we'd still have that blue book. We ain't playing. That's why we got the purple book. But that's right. See, I can get like that. We ain't playing. But let me get to the point. Okay, so the cool thing is, one of the many cool things is, I've been married to the same dude for 26 years. Exactly. Woot, woot. Okay. I have been studying A Course in Miracles for, like 30 years. He's never, I don't try to talk him into it or anything like that. But and he's a wonderful spiritual dude. He has never expressed any interest in picking up that book. And I'm so glad I never was trying to get him to do it. I don't know why. I just was like, It's my thing. Well, welcome, Purple Book. Guess who's reading that Purple Book with me every day? That's my husband. Yes, my husband's reading that Purple Book with me every morning and loving it. And we're reading it like I love the way we're reading it. Because left to my own devices, I'm like, oh, I don't want to read the introduction. I know that part. I'm going right to I don't want to read all that stuff in the beginning. No, we read it super slow from the beginning. And I am so glad to read it from the beginning, not skipping over parts. I mean, I still skip, but with him, we read word by word by word, all the footnotes. And it's just what it's giving me, first of all, is being a beginner. What a gift to be in the energy of a beginner. Beginners get all the breaks. Beginner's luck is really this unsullied, non-self-judging space where you can just let God take care of it. And what I'm getting by sitting side by side with this person I thought I knew so well is that I get to be in the beginner space. Like, he's drawing me into this beginner space. And what's really cool about it is with everything that, I think I know, I'm able to use my knowing of a course to inform and to support, but it's occurring not in a know-it-all-ish, well, I'll tell you what that really means kind of thing. No, not like that. What's spilling out of me is coming from that beginner's energy. It's pure, it's fresh, it's original. I've never heard it before, and it's coming from that place that my husband is creating, that I'm joining in with him. It's absolutely beautiful, and we are in a huge transition as a couple. Neither one of us have formal jobs right now. It's just I love woohoo! All right, hey y'all, look at me, okay? I'm doing just fine, okay? It's extraordinary. We're in this place, I'm like, aren't we bad parents? We're breaking the rules, and aren't we supposed to be nervous and stuff? And it's just. It's incredible that, we get to have this experience. I believe in being responsible. I am not irresponsible. And I've ridden the horse of doing it the way the world says to do it, and I'm done. I've ridden that horse as far as it will take me. He and I have ridden that as far as it will take us. And now that's right. And I love, hey, kick your feet up, y'all. We ain't got to drive. We're on the bus, right? I love the sights. I love who I'm on the bus with. I know where we're going because we're already there. So it's just it's been an incredible time for us to grow as people who are deciding to really trust God, really say, I have no idea, isn't this great, how this is going to turn out. I have no idea. And I'm talking full living. I've got 2 kids in college, or one's going to college. It's not like, I'm not acting like I got it figured out, but Jesus does. And this is the first time, I've gone through a lot of, I've been married to Jesus for 30 years in a lot of ways. And my relationship with Jesus is brand new. So I might have said this somewhere public. I feel like Lisa was near me when I was saying this, but I used to have, and Bill was too. I did it on a video that hasn't come out yet. I am a former ass-kissing, people-pleasing approval seeker, okay? Talk about addictions, holy smokes. Okay, right, yeah, right? Okay, it served a purpose. It got me through a period of time in my life when that was the only way I could survive. I have no regret about that. And, as Jesus is helping me to see, it's time to put that weapon down. Put it down. It's hurting. It's not working anymore. It served its purpose. So as a person who has that orientation, now I can't even remember now where I was going with that story. It's a really important place I was heading with that story. Oh, being married to Jesus for 30 years. This is what it is. So my relationship with Jesus inside was, I was an ass-kissing approval seeker. Well, I know I'm kind of messed up, and I know I didn't do that very well, but I need help, and I'm nice, and why can't that work out? Okay? Would you want to help? Don't you want to just kick her ass? Like grow up and stand up straight. First of all, stand up straight. But that's how I used to talk to Jesus. I'd be like, well, I'm nicer than her, and she got that, and So what's happened as I've grown up, you want to hear how I talk to Jesus now? Of course you do. Yes, you do. We've turned from this parent-child BS. We're peers. Now, he has a lot of I like him in my circle, on my board of directors, because the dude knows stuff. Okay? That's why, it's just true. No, the dude knows stuff, and it's really helpful. It's really helpful, right? Isn't it nice to be around people who know how to fix shit, right? And they also, it's even more than that they know how to fix it. They actually know what's broken. Like most of the time, I'm thinking it's that thing ain't broken. It's that thing over there that's broken. Jesus actually knows what's broken. So then he can direct me to fix the actual broken. Not that he fixes anything, but you know what I'm saying. So here's how I talk to Jesus now. Jesus, you and I both know why I'm here. You know what I came here to do. You know who I am. You know what my skills are. You know that thing I'm thinking right now that feels like crap? Get that out of here. It's got to go. And Jesus is like, can we get a high five? Yeah, down, yeah. And then right? I get that all the time. Like finally, you're going to cut this little girl crap. You're going to cut this little weak, mealy mouth. He's like, don't come to me with that mealy mouth stuff. Just be who you are. Stand up. And that's how I got right here. Doing what I'm doing. Saying yes. Saying I ain't got no job and I ain't scared. That's how I got here. Because I'm not mealy mouth. I'm not a slave. I'm not a victim. I'm not at the effect of anything. If I want to, I can. And when I feel like I'm doing that, I don't like how that feels. And that's when I say, Jesus, take that thing, because we have it like that. Like Jesus and I he knows, just like I do, why I'm here. And I think I needed to get really clear with myself about why I'm here. The first thing that happened, and this is something, Lisa, we talked about yesterday, was first the desire and the decision. Behind two steps behind any action I take. There's the desire, this isn't working for me anymore. There's the decision, I'm gonna work with Jesus in a way that grown-ups work. And then suddenly the action. She's standing in front of a camera. She's speaking with people from the truth of her being instead of trying to figure out what do I think they want to hear and then telling them that or whatever it is. But 2 steps behind this, what you see in 3D, is a desire and a decision. And kind of one of the ways that I can flip that is by saying, if I'm standing somewhere in my life that I don't like, I got to kind of say, okay, what was the decision? And then where did that come from? And Jesus, you know this thing where I'm standing right now where I'm wanting something that isn't true for me or isn't good for me? Can you come in here and take this out of here? Because I don't even know what's best for me in this situation. I don't know. I just know that I want something and it doesn't feel good. So that is what that's how this purple book to me is just, it's the bomb. It is the bomb. I'll carry this book anywhere. Now, I haven't put it in the tub yet. You can see it's still, it will. Okay, there, Bonnie's, it's been in Bonnie's tub. But Lisa and Bill got a whole bunch of copies. Well, they got 8 copies of this, and they're in the back over there. And they're selling them for what they paid, and you don't even have to pay shipping. And they're $45. So here's the cool part. Here's the coolest part. You already live in the reality where that book is. So somehow you got it going on because you're in the same reality as that book. So you don't ever have to do anything with that book. You got it. And if you want to have this book for yourself, I think you should get it. Okay, that's my recommendation. I would get the book. I think it's an extraordinary gift. It's a gift because it belongs to you, because it's speaking to you, because you've decided, you know who you are, why you're here, and this showed up to give it to you at the level that you're ready to have it. This is not for dabblers or mealy-mouthed, approval-seeking people pleasers, okay? That's all I got to say. So, but it wouldn't be showing up in your reality if that's who you were. So none of this stuff that I just said was what I actually thought I was going to talk about, but that's normal, right? Because, yeah, I mean, Jesus is just like, I'll tell you what to say, and you'll say it, and you'll like it. Yeah, you're right. I kind of want to do this meditation thing, okay? So one of the themes that I wanted to just say, I'm going to just condense it, is about God keeping the promise. So I'm doing workbook lessons, and I'm at this thing that says, what is salvation? And the first line of the page about what is salvation, it says, salvation is the promise that God made that we would go home. Like my knees get weak, just like, oh my God, like, right? There are times I'm just like, Calgon, take me away. Like, you know what? I got to go home. I love it. This is very interesting and kind of cute sometimes. Gotta go home. I want to go home. And so when I read that line, salvation is the promise that we're going home. And then Jesus says, and that promise couldn't but be kept. And so I know what Jesus is saying. Jesus is saying, you were created home. Home isn't a place where you go. But I did have to write a 1,365-page book for you to kind of start to get it, okay? So Jesus is like, you are home, but I understand that you don't, that's not the experience that you have all the time. I dig that, and I'm walking you with you, and I'm walking you to the knowing, the experience of home. And it's almost incorrect for me to say the knowing, because we are the knowing. Okay? So I'm going to have to get a little careful, try not to be funny and cute, and really, because first do no harm. First, Jesus turned those tables at the temple. He turned those tables. And this is something that came up with my husband when we were reading Course in Miracles. Jesus turned those tables not because he was having a temper tantrum at all. He turned those tables because he wanted them to be on notice that it's one thing to be ignorant. It's another thing to purposely lead people away from knowing who they are. And that was his issue. He was like, if you all are standing in front of a house that represents home, and you're telling people essentially, in order to get home, we've got your soul and you're going to have to buy it back from us, and here's what you got to pay. He's like, He's like, no. So when I stand up here, the best thing I can do is get out of the way of Jesus, because I don't want him turning my table over. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is, I don't want to ever do anything but lead us home, ever. I don't want anything coming out of my mouth but home, right? We deserve home. And I'm not taking that away from anyone. I'm not going to take you a step away from who you are. So we're already home. And what we're doing right now is we are, as that little page about what is salvation, it says salvation does nothing. All salvation does, it says, is it fails to get in the way of all the stuff we think is going on. Salvation doesn't do a thing. Because think about it, if you had to do something, what would that mean about us? It would mean that we're not. It would mean, yes, that we'd have to do it, which would mean that we're not what God says we are. The nature of salvation is a non-doing. There is no practice to be who you are. You cannot not be who you are. You can hang around with people who don't know who you are, who will try to convince you that you're somebody that you're not. You can spend time in environments that give you the impression that you don't have it yet. Right? You can engage in activities that cause you to feel in such a way that you've got some separation, like, well, in 5 years when I'm like Bill, and I can sit there with my hand on my, I'll be. We can make up stories like that all day long. And the reason that book is so long is that Jesus is like, I know what your thoughts are before you think them. He's like a really good dad. I have a teenage son. The best thing about my husband is that he was a teenage boy. So he's like, I know what that boy is going to do before that boy knows what he's going to do. Jesus knows where our misthinking is going. That's why he said, that's why I took on a human form. I needed to just step right in this thing and say, oh, okay, I can write the book now. All right, right? He like, I got this book, and I love how he exited stage right. He's like, I'm gonna take this to the highest degree that I can take it, just in case somebody says, well, he died very peacefully in a bed and he didn't have the tough life I have. Jesus is like, nope. I'm going to go Jerry Springer on all of y'all, right? And I'm going to go out hard. I'm going to go out hard. And while I'm doing it, I'm going to be who I am. Right? That's like, whoa. That's why he's on my board of directors. Just in case. He knows. He knows. So, again, I have no idea how I got into this line of conversation or where I'm actually going with it. But that's why when I stand here, I'm irrelevant. I'm irrelevant. What I do to make money is irrelevant. That's why I'm unemployed. Because Jesus is like, you're not getting a job till you know that you don't need a job. Like, we're going to take care of your kids. Jesus is like, we're going to take care of your kids. But your job is not what takes care of your kids. And, your husband needs the same treatment. He needs to know his perfection, his contribution, his knowingness doesn't come from his ability to contribute to the gross national product. And don't we need more beings all over the place who know who they are without any connection to productivity and what's on my business card and what car I'm driving and all of that baloney. We all need that right here in 3 dimensions. We need to be in the vicinity of people who can keep us remembering when we forget, because that's part of the game. Even Jesus had that moment on that cross. I asked for this. You forgot. You're forsaking me. Hold up a second. Even Jesus. And then he was like, "Oh, that's right. I know who I am. I know what's going on here. They forgot. I don't have to be upset. Nothing happened. I can go now. I've done my thing." So it's natural. That's part of our process. That's why we're on the bus. That's why we're going to stay on the bus. And that's why we have this amazing new little roadmap with, extra awesome sites and things to visit and ways of looking at things, and it's just awesome. So I have no idea what time it is, Bill.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
I actually brought you here to join me so that I could sit here and watch you. So you just keep going.
All right. Okay. I kind of understand that, and I kind of know, but it doesn't really matter. So here's what. Thanks so much, Bill. Yeah. I would like for us to finish up with a meditation. And I'm going to invite us all. I'm going to put this mic down for a moment because I'm going to put on some music. But before that happens, close your eyes and just tune in to your physical experience. So maybe start with your feet, relax your toes, relax your lower legs, your thighs, both thank the chair that you're sitting in for supporting you. So send gratitude to that structure that is supporting your physical nature. And then invite that chair to continue to support you in the important experience that you're inviting in. Relax the shoulders and the belly. Relaxing the jaw, your tongue, the space between the eyebrows. Relaxing the eyeballs, the forehead, the scalp. Nice deep breath in through the nose if you can. Open the mouth, and we're going to clear the breath 3 times. So we'll inhale, and we'll say, ah. 2 more of those. Inhale. Ah. Good. If there's anything left over, let it out here. Ah. Oh, nice. Beautiful. And just for kicks, let your chin move toward your chest and just relax. Just relax down. And if you feel like it, maybe just take your neck. Little rotation. Nothing big. And we're just emptying out any drain or any tension that we might be holding. So I'm going to read some excerpts from Lesson 109. Lesson 109 is, I rest in God. And when I was thinking about this topic that I wanted to share this morning about God's promise that we're going to go home, God's always saying, you are home. And if you want to know that, rest in me. Just come and rest in me. So I want to read Jesus' words on behalf of our home. And I'm going to play Moonlight Sonata while we're in our meditation. And one of the reasons I like the Moonlight Sonata for this meditation is that the moon has no light of its own. The moon's light is the sun, and we are that. Our light is God. Of ourselves, we are nothing. When we are willing to be lit, to be illumined by the sun, we take our rightful posture, our rightful function. I rest in God. We ask for rest today and quietness, unshaken by the world's appearances. We ask for peace and stillness in the midst of all the turmoil born of clashing dreams. We ask for safety and for happiness, although we seem to look on danger and on sorrow. And we have the thought that will answer our asking with what we request. I rest in God. This thought will bring to you the rest and quiet, peace and stillness, and the safety and the happiness you seek. I rest in God. This thought has power to wake the sleeping truth in you, whose vision sees beyond appearances to that same truth in everyone and everything there is. Here is the end of suffering for all the world, and everyone who ever came and yet will come to linger for a while. Here is the thought in which the beloved child of God is born again to recognize herself. I rest in God. Completely undismayed. This thought will carry you through storms and strife, past misery and pain, past loss and death, and onward to the certainty of God. There is no suffering it cannot heal. There is no problem it cannot solve, and no appearance but will turn to truth before the eyes of you who rest in God. This is the day of peace. You rest in God. And while the world is torn by winds of hate, your rest remains completely undisturbed. Yours is the rest of truth. Appearances cannot intrude on you. You call to all to join you in your rest, and they will hear and come to you because you rest in God. They will not hear another voice but yours, because you gave your voice to God, and now you rest in God, and let Him speak through you. No more fearful dreams will come now that you rest in God. Take time today to slip away from dreams and into peace. I rest in God. Eyes closed, let's say that together 3 times. I rest in God. Inhale. I rest in God. One more time. I rest in God. Amen. So I think we have a couple of minutes. Oh, wow. Cool. So we don't have to, good. We don't have to jump up. We don't have to freak out. And we can stay as quiet as we wish. And if from this extraordinary knowing, you are speaking, please speak. And let us enjoy our rest in God with you. Do you want to come on up here, baby girl?
Hi, I'm Maggie.
Hi.
Kind of had an incredible experience this week. My ex-husband has been very sick with cancer. And I had a text from my granddaughter, my grandson, which is his family. And he had told her that, please speak to your mom because your mom is included in the family and I want to help her out financially. And we didn't end well 30 years ago, but he's gifting whatever. Doesn't make a difference, whatever it is. And wanting and really being grateful for the 20 years that we had together. And it's really nice, you know. He's always said to my children, there's never been a mother like your mother. You've had the best mother anybody could ever have. And he has told him that for years. So it's such a blessing at this time in his struggle of illness that he's seen some clarity. And for me, to be able to receive, because that's my struggle. You know, be able to receive has been difficult for me. And she said, you need help. I said, yes, I need help. I'll accept. So, thank you. Thank you, Maggie.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that. That's a beautiful share, given what Lisa was talking about receiving and how that's such a uncomfortable thing for most of us to do. We get very like, gee, golly, gosh, shucks, I don't, please don't. And it's exquisite, and I think it's indicative of your maturity in your faith, in your knowing that you can allow yourself to be supported, and you can receive. Like what I was saying about the sun being the light of the moon. The moon herself has no light, but her willingness to be lit gives her all of the power that she gives to us. The moon is a very powerful force. Part of her power comes from her willingness to receive. And that's what I'm feeling, you know, you even sharing that story for all of us who struggle with letting somebody tell us that we're good, that we did something well. And then also saying, I need support and I need help. So thank you for the courage and the healing that you displayed and you gave. Yeah, nice. Yeah.
I am really shy. I don't like to get up here, but I was so thrilled that you chose Moonlight Sonata because when my mother was dying, that was her favorite song. And so my daughter and I had that playing and put that in her earphones. So as you were leading us in the meditation, I could just think about how special it was to be in that hospital room with her, and how at one point she sat up and she did like this. I may have shared this already. I'm not sure. I'm sure I shared it with a few people. She sat up and she was waving, and I said, "Mother, who are you waving to?" And she said, "My friend." And I said, "Well, who is your friend?" And she said, "Jesus." So that was just so special. Thank you so much. It's just really great.
Yay. Yay, Mom.
Yeah.
Yay, Mom's got it going on. Yay, Mom. So cool. Does anybody else? Don't make me name names, please. Don't do it. Irene. Irene. Look at her. She's like, yo. Do you want to share? Come on, Irene. Sure, yep, you can.
All right. Can you hear me? Yeah. That was wonderful, Kim. At the meditation and the song. I did want to say, when you were talking about your children going off and you having no jobs, and I looked at that like you don't have the fear of the ego mind. You know, you don't carry that. You know? It's not about being here and whatever. It's noticing that you've let go of a lot of your ego-minded, fear-based. Yeah. Because I could really, I feel that with me, so I see that. You know, you have to really look at that within yourself. If you don't know what it is, that's it. Because once you get rid of the ego mind and all the fear and the doubt and the insecurity, that's it, you know. I met Kim this morning. I thought we were in the bookstore, and I thought she was new. I was pointing out some new books to her. And one of them was What It Says, because I've been in the course as long as Kim doing the course. And I've had a very difficult 30 years of suffering because I just didn't want to really know what the course said. Anyway, I guess she asked me to talk because we talked about how we I was telling her how I met Jesus. And I used to go to a few course meetings. And about 4 years ago, I really loved the people in it. I look forward every Thursday to going there. And then one day the teacher called me and asked me not to come anymore. And I was devastated. I just felt like I was thrown out of heaven. And then my sister found me another group, and I started going to another group. And then I was asked not to come back to that group. And it's funny, when I did go to these groups, my sister used to always say, "How was it?" And I used to always say, "These people are stupid as a stick." Because I felt they were so, like, they're not getting it, you know? But anyway, after the second time I got asked not to come back, I said, "There's something I have to look at." And that's when I really met Jesus, when I took him in fully. And no, I don't need any group, any book, anything. And that's when I told her that. She says, "Well, I'm doing a talk today. Can you share that?" No, I can't share that. No. Don't pick me. And it's funny, even before that, I thought, about 20 years ago, I got thrown out of a group too. So and that was only because I had a few drinks in me. They asked me to leave, but it was all, but I just saw there was something I had to see, and the thing was, I didn't need anyone but myself, because I have all the answers, and I got really connected all the years. So it doesn't make a difference. I've always said that. It doesn't make a difference if you're picking up the book for the first time and you're studying it for 30 years. It's not about time. I mean, I know there's no time, there's no, yeah. So that's how we and her talk today was on sharing with Jesus and the Holy Spirit. And yeah. Amen.
Amen.
I love you. I just thank you so much.
Thank you for being here. It was very nice meeting you.
Really nice meeting you.
Yeah, we're meeting ourselves.
That's right. Yeah.
That's right.
So what's so cool about, we have 5 more minutes. What's so cool is that from the perspective of the world, you and I have nothing in common from the perspective of the world, right? And it just, what I love about Jesus is that to be part of his team, to be part of that knowing, is to have to let go of all the crap that I've ever been taught about anything. There is no compromise. There's no in between. I have no friggin' clue who I am with, what I am doing, why I'm doing it, what's supposed to happen, right? I don't know. Thank the Lord. I'm finally getting to the place where I know I don't know, and all the gifts are just flooding in. Look, I love you. I love you. Thank you. Just, Irene, thank you so much for your beautiful teaching and sharing. So, it doesn't get any better than this. It never will. This is everything I came for. This is what I'm here for. Yeah. Yeah. Right. We're sisters forever. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to throw you out either. I'm not. Right. Yeah. No matter what you say, I ain't throwing you out. No.
You know, there's one thing I learned with Ken Wapnick, which helped me, because I used to go to course meetings And I used to say to the people at the course meetings, there's no difference between coming here and going to bingo. Because I had a lot of frustrations. And I finally realized one day when Ken Wapnick said, take every place, say you go into an accountant, this is the one I use and I use it all the time. If you go into an accountant, you think you're going to have your taxes done, right? And then you think if he does a good job, he's a good accountant. If he screws up, then he's a bad accountant and you're not going back. But the real reason you're going to accountant or going to market or going to a Course in Miracles meeting or to bingo is to know that you and your brother are one. And that's my bottom line. That's it. That's where I go and see. That's all. It's not about coming to a course meeting. It's knowing that we're all one mind. There's only one Son of God, and we're all in the one mind. So that's been, I use that with every day, everything. And that's why I feel that that's what I use the day for. That's it. Nothing else.
I got one thing to say.
Yes.
Bingo!
Oh,
That's, all right? That's bingo right there, y'all. Right?
yes.
And we all win.
Yes.
Everybody
Yes.
wins.
I know. I learned that. at
You
bingo.
girl, you rock. Oh, oh, I like this girl. Okay, I get. So, on behalf of the Teachers of God Foundation and all of everybody that is watching and everyone who's got here today, just huge thank you. Thank you. You matter on every level. There is nothing without you. So thank you for letting me receive Jesus and give it. Amen. Amen. All right. Yay.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you, Kimberly, for sharing your awesome. No, Jewel. I love Jewel. He's an amazing partner for you. And
Yule.
Yule.
But it is like Jewel.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm going by the spelling.
Bill,
Yeah.
there was a question from Shayna. She wants to know when you and Lisa are in San Diego, if you're going to be doing anything there.
We're going to Unity.
We're going to Unity Center.
Will you address that now
Okay, Unity Center. We're going to be at the Unity Center Church
in San Diego?
in San Diego. It's on Activity Road.
I don't think it's San Diego.
It's close to San Diego. If you just look up Unity Center of San Diego, you'll find the church. We'll be there Sunday morning. We don't have an event or anything that's happening while we're there, but we're happy to go have lunch with you if you show up, and it'll be fun. And I also want to say that Kimberly, that was awesome. Kimberly, if you guys are not planning, if you haven't booked your flight to Utah, Kimberly's going to share as one of the presenters in Utah, so you get to see some more of her and us there and all of your favorite team members here. So you still have time to book your flight and your reservation, and hotel rooms are still available, and it's going to be a fantastic event. You guys want to come if you can. And you had something to share, Bonnie?
I'd like for Kimberly to make a cassette or a video of your meditation and let us buy it. Could you do that?
So,
Okay, I gotta find somebody to play it.
okay. So we're gonna go ahead and stand up and pray out. If everyone please join hands. Thank you, live streamers, for bearing with the couple of little glitches we had. But for some reason, the software wasn't working. I think the audio and the live streaming video is working better together now. But I forgot to put a link on where we told you to find us. So that's we had to do that this morning. Hi. So right now, we just want to, in the quiet place, still resting in God, where Kimberly brought us today to just remember that resting in God is home. Resting in God remembers us the peace of God. Thank you, presence. Thank you, pure light that shines on everyone and no one is left out. We are that light. We are this knowingness. Thank you for everyone here. We give our love to you as we hold your hand. We give our love to everyone whose hand is held right here. You are what I am. I am what you are. And live streamers, we hold your hand right here in our heart. You are what we are. We join you in this agreement that God is what we are, and we are illumined by what He is. Thank you for allowing us to share this time together, and we give our light to the world now as we go about and do our thing. And thank you, God. Amen. And we're gonna bless the tithes, divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Amen. Thank you. Thank you, live streamers. There's a donate button there on the screen if you want to be in service to sharing the gifts of your finances with us and helping us to do what we do. And also, you guys that are here, there's a box in the back, the love box. So thank you for helping us to support